Good afternoon, friends. The enemy is attacking us not only with explosions. Not only by attacking our nuclear power plants from the air, he is also attacking our information space through fakes, propaganda and lies. Recent statements made by the key Russian propagandists are not only cynical, but actually border with international war crimes. For example, in a broadcast on key Russian TV station, Margarita Simonyan stated that Russia is not attacking Ukraine, it is only conducting an operation to disarm Ukraine. Just think for a moment of the cynicism she stipulated, stating, "If I knew that the motherland was bombing peaceful cities, I would not be able to go on the air and defend it. So thank you." What a cynicism. Margarita Simonyan, you will not only be under sanctions, you will be under an international tribunal. Realizing that the enemy's military operation is stalled, they have resorted to disinformation and are shifting responsibility for their actions to Ukraine. In particular, they threw in a report that Ukrainians allegedly locked up 60 civilians in a Mariupol school and mined the school. This is said by the people who shot up the 25th Lyceum in Zhytomyr, who are killing Ukrainians by hundreds, creating human casualties all over Ukraine, who in Chernihiv alone killed 50 civilians in one day of bombing. Or, for example, they accuse us of intending to allegedly shell Russian territory from the Sumy region, when they turned their own Grad rocket launchers, which are on the territory of the region they seized, in the direction of Russia. Furthermore, during the last few days, Russia blocked humanitarian corridors and prevented the delivery of humanitarian aid and evacuation of civilians. They do not want the evacuation to take place on Ukrainian territory, and they have not given any reply to the Red Cross requests. In turn, the Red Cross has not recorded this as a war crime. It is time to put an end to this. It is time to start evacuating Ukrainian civilians from the territory of hostilities. Meanwhile, in Kherson, we are seeing a theatrical spectacle. The purpose is to create the notion that a Kherson People's Republic is being created in Kherson. The same scenario they used in the earlier occupied territories of Donbass, but even more brutal. Lacking local support, they bring in tourists from the regions of Russia and from the so-called LPR and DPR. With their help, they give the impression that locals support the invaders. Obviously, this is not true. This is a fake that was necessary to sow despair among Ukrainians and to create a propaganda picture for Russian television. By the way, dozens of media outlets have already been banned in Russia. Radio station Echo Moskvy, which from time to time dared to tell the truth about this war, has been completely shut down. So was the Dozhd TV channel. Russia has put up enormous resources to create an information picture, propaganda and mislead, but they do not achieve their goal. They are often simply stolen by the performers. In order to somehow create the illusion that this money is being used on purpose, they have hacked into several local community websites in western Ukraine and reported that Ukrainian government has allegedly capitulated through them. This is a lie. Please be vigilant. We can also see video on Russian television in which Russian occupiers presumably offload aid supplies from vehicles and distribute them to local residents. As President Zelensky told in an interview, this humanitarian aid is simply the looted goods from Ukrainian stores and is then distributed to the population under the guise of a humanitarian convoy. If you look closely at the video, you can see that these are huge sacks of flour that are distributed door to door. The impression is that they are bakeries and not ordinary citizens who will not even be able to use this flour for its intended purpose in a short period of time. Well, one more throw-in, which has been spreading lately, not only in the Ukrainian but also in the European media space. This is the narrative that racism allegedly took place during the evacuation in Ukraine. Allegedly, Ukrainians were not treated equally, nor were our foreign visitors who wanted to leave Ukraine. This is a fake. Personally, watched the evacuation at the train station in Lviv. There was no prejudice there. On the contrary, there were volunteers present to guide the refugees in the right direction. The railroad has a special infrastructure that works specifically with foreigners who intend to leave Ukraine. At the moment, there are no such precedents, and the information and propaganda campaign is stalling.